Hey everyone, coming at you with a bit of a discussion video today, just on a couple of things, mostly with TTPs and operational setup of equipment and intent of use, purposes in the field, that kind of stuff. A little bit ties into outdoorsman stuff, bushcraft, all those things. Just a little bit of a discussion today on that particularly. So kind of the key point of this is for people training, prepared citizens in the professional space, using line gear equipment, using whatever system, be it an LBE, a chest rig system, plate carrier system, combat loadout, whatever it is, or hiking and outdoorsman, hunting loadouts, all that kind of stuff. There's a number of things that do coincide to each other with this kind of topical coverage. One of the things that I've been having some discussions with people, I've been having some younger dudes ask me, because I've been in the game for a while, I've been having some younger dudes ask me, in messages and things like that, like, hey, how do you have certain things set up? In this case, when it comes to a field knife / combat knife, things like this. And I've got different ones. I've done videos on these knives before, just like stuff like this, like utilitarian field knives for various uses, apart from the last resort close combat application, defensive martial arts application, combatives, that kind of stuff, that last resort thing aspect of it, which I've made a video on before, but also just usage of these, placement, setup, things like that. Biggest thing for me personally, and not the same for everyone, set it up how you want, run it where you feel comfortable with it and things like that, but there's some reasons why I have things set up the way I do. With large field knives like this, usually you have one of these on you kind of thing. I usually keep a backup in my large ruck, my sustainment ruck. But with one of these on your person, I do not have it connected to my line kit. So I don't have it, if I'm using an LBE or a plate carrier, chest rig, whatever, I do not have it attached to that. I have it decentralized from line kit on my belt, my normal belt for my pants. I have it on there. This is my field utilitarian knife. This is a last resort defensive tool. It has multiple uses and purposes out in the woods, right? This should be on you at all times, contrary to a lot of your line kit, which will come off at times and at some point for downtime, R&R, if you need to take your kit off to do some manual labor, prepping firewood, setting up shelters, whatever it is, just myriad of examples and nuances and things like that. This should be staying on you, attached to your belt. That's just me personally, though. Again, run it however you want. You want to run something like this, on your belt kit or on your battle belt, duty belt, whatever you want to call it. I hate those things. I don't run them personally, but if you have it on there, do your thing. If you have it, if you want to run it, inverted like that, on your LBE or whatever, do it. It's totally up to you. But something like this, that's a multi-purpose utilitarian tool and things like that, apart from a last resort combat thing, like I've said, you should be keeping that decentralized from your line kit. Again, like I've said, for a number of reasons. There's a lot of different types, there's a lot of brands and all that stuff. This one's a Ristoleka Tarava, which they make these with old Swedish and German saw steel, really high quality carbon steel knives, very nice. The other one I have here right offhand, again, I have a couple, and then the other one is a Cold Steel SRK, it's a SK5 steel, excellent blade. I've used this one a little bit. They are still fairly clean, because again, I do have a number of different knives, and I interchange them, and I use whichever one's out in the field. But like whenever I go out to help my buddy do wood prep and things like that, I have one of these on my belt. I always keep one on my belt, just in case I need to baton, I need to debark something, I need to whatever. I have something on me. And these are substantial knives. But, you know, whichever one it is and whatever, you know, I've always got something like that on my standard clothing, uniform, whatever, decentralized from my equipment. And those are the reasons why. So take that into consideration. Kind of assess your kit. Obviously, you should be running your kit and your equipment and stuff, testing it, figuring out what is working, what isn't working, the placement's good, isn't good, what you need to reconfigure, whatever it is. You need to be running and drilling. You need to be running and putting your kit through its paces. Inevitably, things are going to just not work or fail or whatever, and then you need to adapt and change things up. But with something like that, a baseline level of kit, much like with other components you may want to keep in pockets on your clothing, you know, various things, whether it's a fire starter, whatever, you know, people want to be trendy, not trendy, whatever, you know, like whatever you're doing, however you're using all those things, you know, whatever, some of that stuff, to include field knives, need to be decentralized from the other equipment that you don and doff. So that's really the discussion with nuance here, and how I prefer to do things and how other people I know do things, associates do things and things like that, you know. A lot of us end up having a couple of knives on us at any given time, whether it's an additional folder and then whatever's on a good multi-tool, whatever it is. But for good large knives like that, for taking care of game, doing just fieldcraft things and out in the woods things and all that stuff, apart from other exigent uses, keep it decentralized. That's just something that I do and recommend. But again, do it how you want, whatever, but take that into consideration, because it may be more advantageous for you in the long run, and just kind of optimizing how you configure things based on what kit you're using and all that stuff. So yeah, that's about it for this one. So just take it into consideration, and thanks for watching. More stuff coming soon. Metal up. Out.